Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday, and you know what that means. It's a league change. So the league change for today is, or for the next week, I guess, is going to be Ultra League and Great League Remix. So Great League Remix is the one we're going to go over today. I already have a video you can check out of Ultra League. Nothing's changed since the last time. We've already had it twice this season. But for Great League Remix, this is the first time for this season, and we'll be going over what's banned and the 4 teams that I think are the best. And if you would like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would be great for the YouTube algorithm. And let's go ahead and get into these scenes. All right, so here are the banned mon. We'll go over them real quick. Alolan Sandslash, Wigglytuff, Lickitung, Lantern, Azumarill, Umbreon, Skarmory, Vigoroth, Medicham, Whiscash, Altaria, Registeel, Deoxys, Defense Form, Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk, Talonflame, Trevenant, Chargebug, Skeledirge, and Clodsire. So some of these are really weird. I think the way that Niantic does it is the last season's most used mon, which isn't necessarily that prevalent to this season. So something like Gligar isn't on this list, and Gligar is obviously, it's not even close. It's the best mon in the league for Great League. It's just very safe into a lot of things. So we don't see that. We don't see like the new mon or the mon that got the Pokemon that have gotten buffs. Obviously, they wouldn't have been that great last season without the buffs. So something like Annihilate. I'll go over some of the notable ones here, though, specifically like Lantern, Azumarill, Whiscash, Vigoroth, and Skarmory, and even Altaria and Chargebug. These are like the big ones, I think. Really, there's a lot of room for... So we get 3 water bans, but we also get Chargebug and Altaria bans, which are pretty good against water in general. Vigoroth and Skarmory are kind of safe. So, yeah, I do like the Whiscash, Azumarill, Skarmory, and Chargebug bans. It is going to lead to a little bit of flavor in this meta. We'll just go over the teams real quick then. So I already showed this team from Palasha. It was actually the last, I think, Great League video I made. It's going to be okay. So the lead's going to be on top, and then on the right side is going to be, the bottom right is going to be the safe swap. So for the most part, Gligar, like I said, very safe swap. Surprised it's not banned, but of course it's because of the way Niantic does things. But yeah, we're going to have a Shadow Magnezone in the lead with things like Whiscash being gone from this meta. It's actually extremely good. Even something like Skeledirge being gone is very helpful to this. And then, Cresselia and Gligar just very safe in this meta. Especially Gligar going to be even safer than before. We're getting rid of Azumarill. We're getting rid of Skarmory. Those are the 2 huge counters to Gligar. Everything else is kind of neutral. Even something like a Whiscash or Shadow Whiscash would have just been neutral. But Whiscash also banned. So you're going to see so much Gligar in this meta, you're not going to know what to do. Okay, another team is the Waneo team. It's actually going to be very good here as well. Something like Feraligatr has a little bit more of a shine to it with things like Azumarill gone. So yeah, Shadow Feraligatr going to be pretty safe. No steel types, meaning that the full flying type of Pidgeot and all of its moves being flying type, not going to be hurt too much by the steel types. Also, Registeel for some reason banned, so not going to be in that terrible of a matchup either. Also, I think Galarian Stunfisk kind of banned. So, yeah, I think flying has a really big, is going to shine really big here, which is another reason why maybe you'll see a lot of Magnezone. And even, I'm just now thinking Alolan Sandslash banned. So, yeah, flying going to be great in this meta, so you might actually see a ton of flying and a ton of Magnezone. If you're going to be seeing Magnezone, might as well go for the hardest counter, Annihilate. Annihilate's just been fantastic this season with the, with the addition of Annihilate. I don't think it was in the previous seasons. I think I said it got buffed. It got introduced this season, so yeah. And y'all know I love Annihilate. Annihilate is fantastic. All right, an interesting team here. Cresselia lead with a safe swap of Steelix, Shadow Steelix specifically, and then this is one of those true ABB Vergy type lines. It's like You want your one Mon to go shields up, and that's going to be Shadow Charizard in the end game, and it can kind of just blow everything up behind it. Again, Charizard going to be super great with the water Mon that are being banned. So Azumarill, Whiscash, Lantern, these are huge things that are great against Charizard. So Charizard losing a lot of its foes here and going to be able to go through a lot of teams. And then Steelix on the other side, with Whiscash being gone, Galarian Stunfisk, Registeel, even something like Alolan Sandslash is actually a huge threat to Steelix. But Steelix going to have, especially with that Shadow type, we've already seen it a bit this season in a lot of the other cups, going to be able to get through a lot of things with the Dragon Tail and Psychic Fangs. Psychic Fangs reducing the damage being done. Or not the damage, going to be reducing the defense, therefore taking a lot more damage from the Shadow typing of the Steelix, and getting the Dragon Tail through. So same thing's going to work in an end game where your Steelix is like 1 HP and you throw a Psychic Fangs into something and then you have Charizard still in the back. Even if that's a bad matchup for Charizard, so something like maybe for Alligator, it being reduced in defense is obviously going to threaten a lot. The Dragon Tail is actually going to be able to do a ton there. And then Cresselia in the lead is another one of those safe leads. Cresselia, I think some of the safest things in this meta are going to be like Cresselia, Gligar, Greedent, Mantine. Things like this are going to be pretty safe in the meta, although Mantine going to be threatened obviously very hard. I don't think I think my next team. We'll go into the next team. All right, I was going to say I don't think I have a team with Mantine on it, but I do actually have it here. And then we have Greedent here in the front. So Greedent, very spammy, able to get to the body slam in 4 mud shots. And then I like running Crunch as opposed to Trailblaze. So Trailblaze is something that's pretty good in a lot of cups if you're going to see a lot of water, but I don't think we're really going to see too much water, obviously, with, again, Azumarill, Lantern, Whiscash getting banned. No real need for that. Trailblaze, some of the water types still around in this cup are Feraligatr, which is going to be fine to just 2 body slam. Feraligatr is very frail in comparison to those bulky types like that we mentioned before. I feel like I just keep saying Azumarill, Lantern, Whiscash. Obviously, they're bulky. So we're not going to need that grass move to pump up moves and then be super effective. Body Slam going to be good against Feraligatr. Body Slam going to be good against Mantine. And then Crunch actually super effective against something like Jellicent if you're going to be seeing a lot of that in the meta. My safe swap here is going to be Jellicent. Obviously, we have... we're showing here Bubble, so not a lot of water types in this meta again, so people might be running things that are weak against water, knowing that there aren't going to be too much water in here. So going to be going for that Bubble over Hex, just going to be more fast move damage as this team doesn't have too much fast move pressure in general. And then Surf and Shadow Ball, whereas we don't really need anything like Ice Beam. First of all, Surf's better than Ice Beam anyways on the average for Jellicent, but not going to be worried too much about dragon types. And I guess one dragon type that you could see is going to be something like, well, you're going to see 2 maybe, Dragonair and Dragonite. Those are definitely going to be ones that you're going to see, but Ice Beam going to be a little too far out of a move to use anyways. It's going to cost more than Surf as it is. And then our closer here is going to be Mantine with Wing Attack, Water Pulse, Aerial Ace. Again, not opting out of the Ice Beam here because I figure a lot more things are going to be running weak to water, considering there's less water in the meta, so we're going to want that Water Pulse. And Ice Beam just going to be too far to get to against the Dragon types anyways, where Aerial Ace is going to be fine neutral damage against most Dragon types in Great League are going to be very frail, so outside of maybe something like Altaria, which is, again, banned in this meta. I think that's it for these teams that I've picked for this meta. Again, here's another showing at things that are banned. A lot of these, again, not really too... Oh, I forgot to mention Lickitung being banned, which is another reason why Greedent is probably going to be the number 1 normal type here. Vigoroth and Lickitung being banned, but it's going to fill that Lickitung space where it can be a safe swap or a safe lead and it's going to do pretty fine into everything. Probably going to slightly lose a lot of matchups, but it's fine. Yeah, so again, if you want to make your own team around something like Greedent, it's pretty easy. Just find 2 Mon that have opposing coverages and just throw Greedent in the back. Boom, you already have an ABB comp basically right there. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, like the video. Subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.